Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Adan. Adan is from San Francisco in California in the USA. So let's see what Adan has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello, Adan.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Yeah.
Tell me, how's your day going so far?
It's pretty good. Mostly going through some footage from a trip that I just had this week. I was in Yosemite Valley, and so I was looking through lots of footage that I got from highlining and climbing out there.
Wow. So tell me, what was the highlight of your trip that you just came back?
Oh, wow. I think the highlight was probably that we put up a high line about 1,000 feet up on the face of El Capitan, which is one of the tallest faces of granite in the world. So that was really cool. That was really special.
Oh my God. You know what, Adam? I've been watching some of your videos and your pictures and your journey highlight. My goodness. So tell me a little bit more about this journey, how you got into it. It's amazing. I was some of them is very scary. I was like, oh my God, how he can do something like that. So tell me a little bit more about this journey.
Yeah, so I've always been really into sports and kind of just athletic feats, working out. I played soccer my whole life growing up. And then in high school and early college, I was pretty into rock climbing and really enjoyed the feeling of movement and kind of the challenge. But I suffered from some finger injuries, and at a certain point, I discovered that slacklining kind of provided a similar feeling and a similar challenge, but I could do it without my fingers. And so that eventually became my main hobby, especially during COVID. And then eventually I was introduced to highlining, which presented a whole new challenge of getting over the fear of heights, setting up these lines, navigating even just difficult approaches to get to the spots. And I really loved the community and just everything that went into it.
Wow, that's amazing. I was, oh my God, it's incredible. Like the work that you put it on for you to be able to cross it. I'm sure it's a long process. And also you're sleeping as well. And Mark was like, oh my God, amazing. So tell me where you're from, Adam.
I'm from San Francisco, California. Um, was born and raised here in the city.
Uh-huh.
And now I've been living in California for my whole life and was down in San Luis Obispo for college, but
Okay.
I've been just spending a lot of time traveling up and down the California coast.
What was the biggest joy of growing up in San Francisco in California?
Oh, well, I think one thing that's nice is the weather. I think the weather in California is always really nice. It's never too hot, never too cold. And with that, there's also a lot of access to nature. So
Mhm.
it's just very nice to always be able to get out, go to some of the national parks in California, go skiing in Tahoe. And there's also a lot of diversity in terms of the landscape. So there's the ocean, there's desert, there's forest, the redwoods. So I love just getting out in all those different ecosystems and exploring.
Wow. And your main job is the job that you do highlighting or not? You have another job on the side?
Highlining is a hobby of mine, but and not a full-time job. Although for the last 6 months, I've basically been just traveling and taking kind of a year off to just go travel and film and go on adventures and really pursue this passion of mine.
Wow.
But in college, I studied landscape architecture, and so I do some design work.
Mhm.
And then I also was working in Alaska doing seismic surveying.
Wow. Amazing. All right. So during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
But before we start our journey within the magic box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself, or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Yeah, I guess something interesting is that I speak French, and I lived in France for a couple years when I was a little kid. Um, and So I guess that's one thing I didn't mention. Yes, I've lived in California for most of my life, but there was 2 years where I lived in Paris, France, and that was a total kind of shock, just getting to acclimate to something completely new and going to French public school and just being completely immersed and learning how to
Wow,
make friends in a new language.
wow. And what's
Yeah.
your favorite French word?
Oh, I think I like the word for tree, which is arbre. It's very hard to say. It's yeah, Arbre, arbre. Yeah.
You know what? I'm from Brazil, and in Portuguese it's very similar. I would say árvore. Árvore is we say
Ah,
it's very similar. The French grammar is very similar to the Portuguese grammar as well. So it's some French words. It's very similar, exactly the same. Just the way we talk, the way we say is different, but very
yeah. I would
amazing,
love to learn some Portuguese. I want to visit Brazil. That's one place that's on my list.
amazing. Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through memories in life and to share your point of views?
Yes.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend, full of random questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Right, so before I start the interview, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to answer or you don't want to talk about, always can change, okay?
Okay.
Amazing. First question First question is, if you could stay any age for the rest of your life, what age would that be and why?
Yeah, I think I'm 25 years old right now, and I feel like I'm pretty happy with the age that I am right now. I feel like it's a good age. I'm old enough where I have lots of responsibility and independence and freedom, but I'm also young enough that I'm in good health and feel like it's just a very good stage of my life. So I think I would just say 25. I would stay this same age. Yeah.
Well, and of course, just, you are very young, but aging for you, when you think about age, is something that bothers you or you just see as a matter of life?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of I think it's just a matter of life. Although I think health matters a lot, so matters a lot to me. So I would like to really focus on my health, and I think your health kind of defines your age more than the number.
Totally. Wow, I like that actually. Health defined is more than your age. I like that. And when you think about life, what's the meaning of life for you?
Well, it's hard to put it on one thing, but I think something that I really want to pursue in life is fearlessness and um, yeah, really striving to not have fears prevent me from doing the things that I want to do.
Amazing. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, next question for you is, what makes you a unique person?
I think that I think that I have a really creative way of looking at a lot of things. I am always coming up with analogies to describe the world and describe my philosophies. And I've been told by people that sometimes I just look at problems differently, and I think I
Mhm.
have a way of reframing things to find creative solutions. And I think that makes me unique.
Wow. And what's the biggest motivation for you in life?
I think I really want to inspire people um, to take risks and believe in themselves. And so that's something that I've been working on doing with my content and things that I've been putting out in the world. Um, at first, I found myself feeling like sometimes it almost feels like you're just trying to impress people, and I felt like that wasn't very fulfilling to me. And so I've been trying to live by this motto of inspiring, not impressing.
Wow. And what will be the title of your memoir one day?
Hmm, a memoir. That's a good question. Um, I would say it would be something to do with maybe like an all-purpose human. Um, yeah, something to do with all purpose. I really believe in being a generalist and being multifaceted. And so I oftentimes, yeah, use the phrase all purpose.
Wow. And when people read your memoir, what's something that would you like people to take with them? Like a message or something that you want to make sure that when people read it or when people somehow connect with it, what's something that you'd like to pass, the message?
I think that it's okay to not always take the fully conventional path, and it's okay to try lots of new things. And you don't have to sacrifice trying new things to be a specialist in only one thing.
Mhm.
And you can you can still create a successful life by combining multiple hobbies and multiple interests because that's what makes you you.
Wow, perfect. Next question, let's do it. Okay, so before the next question, let's talk about highlining. So tell me what's the biggest joy of it when you are doing it, when you are, in the air, when you are literally crossing those beautiful places. What's something about it that's, it brings the best of you. And also there's always a challenging time as well. What that would be.
Yeah, I think one thing that I always like to think about is that you're in this space that nobody else is going to be in. It's a very unique, like you're like maybe someone's been on the cliff edge where you set it up, but to be way out in the middle, just almost levitating there, it's like no one's been there before, and I really like that sense of adventure. But I also really like the mental space that you're in. I find it to be a very unique place for your mind to go to feel like you're in complete control of your mind and you're balancing. And even when things start to get out of control, you develop methods to bring yourself back to this stable sense of being. And I think that's been very important for myself and for my mental clarity. And I just really love the meditation that it provides. Um, I think one of the biggest challenges is um, it also is just your mind. It's obviously with how high up it is, there are deep-rooted parts of your mind, primal things that are telling you that you shouldn't be there and that you should just sit down on the line and hold on to it tight and go back to the land where you're safe. And you almost have to actively ignore that and really try to kind of let yourself sink into this relaxation and ignore all the resistance in your deeper mind.
Out of a curiosity, when I, talking to you and watch your videos, um, how long does it take for you? Let's say you're gonna, set up for you to cross, a place. The setup is done by you, or it's already there, some of them or most of them. And how many times can you do? Let's say in a day, there is like they advise you to do like I don't know, sometime or just once. How does it work? Or there is like a rule as well or not?
No, so yeah, that's a common question that people ask. Who sets it up? It's usually me and my friends. And over the years, we've kind of learned to become very skilled at setting these things up safely, making sure everything's redundant. But the benefit of us setting it up is it's oftentimes just us, and we can use the line as much as we want. There's not really any limitations. Um, and so, yeah, sometimes you're able to walk it once or multiple times. Sometimes we'll leave the lineup for a whole week or even longer, and then you can just really get the hang of walking it and really enjoy that location. So, For example, last year in Yosemite, we set up a half-mile long high line, and we stayed up there for around a week, attending the line, and we all took turns walking back and forth on it, and it was just a great time.
I see. So it all depends, the setup. It all depends the place as well for you to be able to do it several times. It all depends on that.
Yeah, sometimes we might have like a short window where we can only leave it up for like sometimes we're not allowed to leave it up overnight, and then so everyone will kind of get their session in quickly and then we'll take it down the same day. But other times we can leave it up for a long time.
I see. Amazing.
Mhm.
Okay, next question is, what is the worst thing someone can say on a first date?
Um, the worst thing that someone can say on a first date. Um, maybe that maybe that you're boring.
That's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, especially on a first date when you're trying to put your best foot forward, that's the
Yeah.
last thing we'd want to hear, you know?
How do you see the dating life in San Francisco? Growing up there, have living there. How do you see it's like those stigma about big cities where everyone is looking for the next? There's a lot of options, or you feel like people still can go on a date, on a romantic date. They use the apps. How do you see that based on your experience?
Yeah, I definitely have always tried to avoid the apps. I much prefer meeting someone in person or through activities that I like to do. And yeah, I think I think definitely a lot of people kind of fall into that dating lifestyle of kind of the quick and casual. I have some friends who are dealing with that, but I think for the most part, if you're putting your best foot forward and you're in different circles where you can meet people, I think that's the way to go about it.
I see. And tell me a person that in your life that when you're feeling the greatest, when you're feeling the happiest, for some reason this person comes to your mind for you to share the news or to share this feeling when you're feeling the happiest. And the same time as well, the same person when you're feeling the lowest. You're not feeling very well. You wanted to talk a little bit about it. Which the same person comes to your mind. Which person that would be, if you can share?
Oh, I think it's definitely just my core family. My mom, my dad, my sister. I
Mm-hmm.
think um yeah, I'm pretty close with my family, and I think I would definitely go to them first for any big accomplishment or any downfall.
Okay, so three of them, they're watching this interview right now and have a moment, an opportunity to send them a message. What would you say? They're watching.
To my family?
Yeah, they're watching right now.
Oh yeah, I would just say that I love them. I love you guys. I'm so grateful that I have such an amazing and supportive family, and I
Wow,
couldn't do it without them. Yeah.
amazing. And how do you find their support regarding your highlining? They support you somehow, or they don't like it, the idea? How do they come across regarding that?
Yeah, they've been very supportive, which I really appreciate because I think a lot of people sometimes ask me like, "What does your mom think of this?" or and um, and they've gotten to see me do it in person. They've came out to watch me a couple times, and they really support how passionate I am about this thing.
Amazing. Great. 3 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, next question for you is, what makes you the saddest?
Oh, I think it makes me really sad when people lose hope and when people are very kind of pessimistic about the world, or especially when I start to be that way. If I am ever pessimistic or nihilistic about the state of the world, I feel like that makes me sad because I try to be very optimistic and positive, but sometimes you start to lose hope and then you have to kind of bring it back.
I get your point. Sometimes, I think we thrive for happiness. I think it's a normal
Hmm.
thing for us. However, sometimes it's just not there. It's okay as
Hmm.
well. Sometimes it's,
Hmm.
those days that you're chasing, like you want to be happy somehow, but it's just not there sometimes. And the opposite of the question, what makes you the happiest?
Um, I think uh, it makes me the happiest uh, to inspire people and to watch people grow, and
Uh-huh.
and then when they say that their growth had something to do with maybe something that you had told them or something that you had shown them or taught them. I really enjoy teaching people and seeing them um, then learn and take responsibility to grow as a person.
And do you believe that happiness is a choice?
I think in most cases, I think happiness is a choice. Although I do think that there are some mental illnesses and things that people don't choose, which prevent them or add a lot of resistance towards them being happy. So I think for myself, I can mostly choose whether to be happy or not. And I think having a positive outlook and a good mindset is something that you always can choose. But I think there also is a genetic component or some sort of something that some people are born with would makes it easier than for other people. So
Totally. I don't know if you believe in astrology, but what's your star sign astrology?
I'm a Capricorn. I'm born on December 23rd. Yeah.
Oh my God, my sister is December 22nd.
Oh, really? Right before
Yeah.
Christmas.
Very persistent. You guys are very persistent. You know what you want. You know what I mean? Just go for it. It's a very characteristic of Capricorn.
Yeah, I think so. I feel pretty
Stubborn.
persistent.
Can be very
Hmm.
stubborn as well, like very stubborn in a positive and negative way, depending the situation.
I think so. I agree.
Two questions left.
Okay.
How do I say two questions left in French?
Deux questions de plus.
Deux questions de plus.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Right, but before the last question, sorry, the next question. People watching this interview right now, maybe would like to, adventure themselves doing highlining. Yeah. So tell me what would be your best piece of advice for those people.
I think my best piece of advice would be to find some sort of mentor or some sort of group in your area.
Mhm.
I think it's a lot better to do it with people who know what they're doing rather than to try to do it all yourself. Um, and to kind of start slow, but also to believe in yourself and to keep going. Because I feel like with anything that's challenging like that, there's always a period where at first it feels impossible. And everyone who is good at it now once felt like it was impossible and they just push through and all of a sudden it clicks and you get better. So
And do you need to go like some professional training before? There are like some rules or things that you need to do it before or not? Anyone can just start, having some support, of course.
yeah, especially slacklining low down to the ground, anyone can start it. You could buy a slackline today and set it up between two trees and you could start. To get into highlining, it's definitely important to have some support and have some community and mentors that can show you how to do it safely, because it involves a lot of knowledge to set everything up correctly.
Amazing. Next question is, what's the best gift have you ever received?
Ooh. Well, I feel like it. I don't know if it's a gift from someone necessarily, but I feel like it was a gift from the world. Was my dog Poppy. Um, yeah. Uh, I found out that this dog needed a home, and it was at a period in my life where I had enough time to take on a new puppy, and just getting that dog really added a whole new sense of responsibility to my life and really changed a lot of my habits and ways of living for the better. And she's my best friend and companion in a lot of ways. So I love taking my dog Poppy on adventures and going on runs with her. And um, yeah, I think it's been very important for my life.
Actually, I saw some pictures of you in post online. Beautiful dog. Beautiful. I saw some
Yeah.
pictures of this very sweet. So tell me, what has been the most meaningful lesson you've learned from your dog so far?
Oh, I think. mm, Well, I think it really just taught me uh, how having something that is more important to you than yourself really can make a big difference in your life. Like just even the little things, like getting a puppy and taking on this sense of responsibility. It taught me all of these lessons about attention to detail. I need like if any little piece of trash was on the ground in my house, like she would find it. I needed to make sure that everything was spotless and clean. And
Uh,
if I didn't wake up in the morning when my alarm went off or when she woke me up, then she would have an accident in my room. So it's like I needed to be on top of everything and really stay disciplined. And I think having something that you care about, something that you love, really reinforces that discipline that you should have in your life.
wow. How old is she?
She is just about a year old, so
So
she's
sweet.
still
Very
still
sweet.
still a puppy. Yeah.
Last question, ready?
Yes.
As you want to learn some Portuguese, I'm going to teach you how to say last question in Portuguese. We
Okay.
say última pergunta.
Última pergunta.
Perfect. Última means last, pergunta means question.
Pergunta.
So última pergunta.
Última
Perfect.
pergunta.
Pergunta. And actually, I'm going to teach another word that's this word is just exists in Portuguese. You cannot find. It's a beautiful word. We say saudade. Saudade means I miss you, like it in a very dearly way. For example, if you miss someone, if you miss, you have this nostalgic feeling about missing someone or something or a moment in your life, you just say saudade. It's
Saudade.
saudade, yeah. If you look it up after online, you're gonna see it just exists in Portuguese. The closest to English would be missing something or missing someone. That would be the closest, but it's not it's very difficult to translate because it's just a word that just exists in Portuguese. Saudade. It's a very beautiful word.
Very beautiful.
Let's do it. Okay, before the last question, I'm going to ask three questions in one. So the first part of the question is, tell me the very first time you've done skyline, the very first time. Tell me the feeling, how you felt about it, the very first one. The second part of the question is, tell me a moment that you felt scared, challenged, or maybe almost went wrong, you know? And the third part of the question is, tell me a moment that for you was like, this moment I'll never forget. So far is the closest one that you have to your heart, you know, to your mind, for any reason. So tell me the three questions.
Okay, so the first one, the way I was feeling the first time I ever tried highlining
Yeah.
was humbled. I was very humbled. I thought that I would be able to stand up and walk across the line because of my practice low to the ground, but I was completely shut down by fear and I could not even stand up. And so it was very humbling and kind of a hit to the ego.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, and then the second question, a challenging moment that I
A danger.
experienced,
Yeah, dangerous moment or a challenge that,
dangerous moment.
yeah.
Yeah, so as I was starting to get better at highlining, you kind of start approaching longer and longer lines, and that adds a certain element of danger because when they're long enough, then there's kind of no turning back. You have to kind of walk all the way across the line, and you don't want to get stuck in the middle and be too tired to go to one side or the other. So I attempted this line. It was around 260 meters long, and I had never done anything at that length, but I was feeling motivated to try. And the catch was that it was very hot out. It was um, in Fahrenheit, it was like 100 over 110 degrees Fahrenheit. So it was very hot. I think that's like 50 degrees Celsius or something like that. Like very hot. Um, and I had gotten almost all the way across, but my body started to get cramps, and I was really struggling to get back up on the line and start again and actually finish the walk. And so I really thought that I was going to get stuck out there, and I had to just keep resting and then just moving bit by bit. And um, there were people nearby, but there was a river below, and so it was too loud for anybody to hear me. And I didn't have any water, I didn't have a radio, so I just felt kind of stuck, and I just had to slowly get myself out of there, and then I was able to eventually get to the other side, but it was very scary for a little minute.
Wow.
Um, and then one moment that's very memorable for me, it's more recently, but it was actually at that Yosemite line that I was telling you about, the one that was over a half mile long. Well, like I said, we had been there for around 5 or 6 days, and I had tried to cross this line without falling every day that I had been there, but I had always fallen at least once and either had to catch the line or gotten caught by my leash. But I really wanted to be able to walk this whole line without falling. And I had one more attempt left on the last night, and it was completely dark, just middle of the night. And I kind of went out with no expectations and just wanted to do my best. And I put on some nice, relaxing music. And I walked in the dark on this high line. It's like 2,000 feet up and a half mile long. And I got in this really meditative trance-like state. And and you can't see anything around you, so you're just feeling the line under your feet. And something about that experience of walking it was just kind of life changing. And yeah, I was able to walk it without falling the whole way. And then I just remember eventually I wasn't sure where the end was because it was so dark. And so eventually I just had this kind of hunch that I was going to be at the end of the line soon. And so I sat down and I turned on my headlamp, and I was right at the end, and I had made it without falling. And
Wow.
that was just an amazing feeling, unforgettable.
Wow. Thanks for sharing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Right. Last question is, if I would ask your best friend right now to define you in one positive and one negative word only, what your best friend would say about you?
Oh, I think my best friend would say that I'm thoughtful, not so positive. And I think that the negative that they might say is maybe disorganized. I think sometimes I can be a little bit all over the place, have lots of ideas, and sometimes I struggle to keep it all organized and manageable. But it's something I'm working on.
Okay. Amazing. Right, so then yet, let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to say some words, just one word that comes to your mind. Okay, quick thinking. Let's start with money,
Job,
fear,
death,
family,
love,
life,
um, also love,
one word for religion,
beauty,
love,
um, heart,
politics,
divided,
sex,
fun,
Friendship,
Valuable.
desire,
Beauty.
regret,
Ugly.
success,
Fearlessness.
wish,
Faith.
happiness.
Purpose.
One word for San Francisco.
Home.
One word for USA.
Freedom.
One word for designer.
Artist.
I like that. And the last one now, highline adventure. One word.
Oh, powerful.
Wow. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your family for a coffee, and I'm going to ask them, what's the most beautiful thing about Adan? What do you think they would say?
I think that they would say that um, that I'm a very kind and caring person.
See. Okay. Let's play now, Adan and the magic box, and you can ask me a question.
Yeah.
Before you ask me the question, tell me, doing highlining, what this adventure in your life has taught you so far?
It's the biggest thing it's taught me recently is the value of commitment. And when there's something that you want to do, especially something difficult, you have to commit and go all out and not look back. And when you have an idea, at first there will be people who doubt you, and you might even doubt yourself. But the way to really like get big and challenging things done is to try to relieve yourself of all of the doubts and have commitment to the journey and just go for it. And that's when things usually work out.
Oh, you know what, Adan? When your profile came across to me and I started watching, see some of your videos, the first thing that came to my mind is I don't know if you saw this movie, this French guy. He went to the New York City and he did the crossing between the Twin Towers. Have you seen this movie?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Oh my God! I literally my hand was all sweating, like I couldn't like relax for the movie. Oh, it didn't have any protection, anything. That was a movie that I watched maybe two or three times, and all of them I was literally like, nervous through the whole movie because it's such a great movie and based on a true story as well. So it's like, my God, how is possible? So I believe for you to do highline, you need to have a protection always. Yeah, I think it's a must or not. Some people they adventure without it.
Yeah, I always use protection, but I have some really close friends who have a few times done it with no protection. Um,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
maybe you should interview them too. I can set you up.
Absolutely. Just send them, like ask them to drop me a message on Instagram. I would love that. Oh my God, love to
Yeah.
talk to them. And I'm gonna be feel nervous as well for the interview when they start telling me.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, Adam, you can ask me a question now.
Okay. Well, I was wondering, I just saw how consistent you are with these videos and how many people you've interviewed. And I guess I was wondering, is there any is there anybody that you've interviewed that has like almost instantly changed your life? That you've like learned something or they told you something that really just stuck with you so much as soon as you heard it?
Wow, great question, great question. I could tell you a few stories that about it. I'm educating myself every single interview I have here on the
Mhm.
show. People from all over the globe, different backgrounds, different point of views, different way of thinking, and I think that's amazing. The variety of people, the diversity of people, with different point of views. But there's one that's literally, I'm so grateful for this person because this person literally broke a stigma that I had in my all of us we have taboos, stigma, thing that we don't understand much. and it's not wrong with that. But this person broke for me and he educated me. I never forget one of them. Right. I strongly believe that all of us, of course, you know, we have tendency to feel attraction to women or to men. It's a natural thing about our body, about ourselves, our personality. We are born this way. However, I always had, not that I didn't believe it, but for me, people, when they say they're bisexual, that they can, go both ways, of course, I believe them. For me, it was okay. Of course, they can do that. However, for me, it wasn't very clear. I always thought that, okay, they say they're bisexual, but I'm sure they prefer one or another. Like they have more tendency to go for one another. Anyway, I had the interview here with a lovely man from South Africa, but he lives in the US. And he's a bisexual guy. And he explained to me, the way he explained to me, he made me understand that. For example, he got a girlfriend, they're gonna get married actually, and at the same time as well, he had in the past boyfriends or a sexual interaction with men as well. And fun enough, his girlfriend as well the same. Both of them are bisexual, open sexual, because nowadays there are different ways of people, they define themselves pansexual, bisexual, but they define themselves at the time bisexual. The way he explained to me, Adam, he made me understand. He educated me, based on his life experience. He explained to me some, topics about it that for me was like, wow. He brought me this. If I had any doubts in my way of thinking, he literally, without knowing, he broke that. And I told him in the end of the interview, I said, look, I'm so grateful that I had this conversation with you, because even without knowing, you literally made me understand something that for me wasn't very clear. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that for me it stayed with me, because I was, when you learn something new or you break something like stigma, something in your mind, that it keeps you. You feel like, my God, now I understand clear now. So that
Mhm.
was something that he made me understand. And I felt so grateful for that, because I'm a better person just to know that. But I could tell so many stories as well about other things that I've learned that I did. For example, other fun facts. The most of my guests on the show, they are from the US, of course. And the Magic Box has been traveling across the states in the US that I even didn't know about it. And people has been sharing so much about their states. I remember the first person I had from Idaho, I never forget. So like, fascinated about it. Didn't know much. I don't know anything about it. And there was other states in the US as well. That's, when I approach people here from the US and they start talking about where they're from or where they live. And for me, I love it, because I've been educated a lot about the US now, a lot as well about states and capitals. I'm from Brazil. We are the same. We have states and capitals, and it's difficult for you to learn all of them or to understand. And since I started doing the show, I can tell you that I understand much more the geography about the US than ever I had before. So yeah, so I could tell you so many fun facts that, during the interviews that I've learned. But this one about bisexuality, something that I I'm fully understand about it now. That stuck with me for sure. Yeah.
Oh, wow, interesting. Yeah, I'm sure you learn so much every day because you do this every day, right?
Yes, I do. The show goes live every single day. So I do interviews almost every day. It's my therapy of the day. The feeling when you are doing your high line, you are walking
Yeah,
for all crossover. That's the feeling I'm feeling when I'm sitting here and talking to people around the globe. It's exactly the same feeling. So you have an idea how
yeah.
fascinating, and I feel lucky to be able to do that.
Wow, that's amazing. I admire the consistency for you to do this every day, and I'm sure you learn so much from all of your guests.
Did you enjoy the interview?
Yeah, yeah, I did. It was nice. Some of those questions made me think, and yeah, I love to talk about this stuff, and even just I think it's even nice to just practice talking and having conversations with new people. It's always good.
And I'll tell you something, then I had here, as I mentioned before, over 1,300, 400 interviews on the show. And you are the first person who, has been doing highlining. It's you're the first. That's why I was so excited when I saw your profile. When you said yes for the interview, I was like, yes, I can't wait to talk to him about it. I was so curious and I was so excited. So thanks again for being so open, to be so kind and accept the invitation. Thanks for bringing your adventures as well, your memories, and also to educate people. I'm sure people watch this interview right now. They appreciate for you to be able to talk a little bit more about this adventure that you do it, and it's great. Carry on and keep posting videos because I've been watching some of them.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you inviting me, and I can send some more interesting people your way.
I would love to. Please do. And before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Yes, I think it's always important to trust your instinct and to really go for things that make you happy, even if it's not what your family recommends or what your friends recommend. But I think people know deep down what they should be doing, and I think you have to listen to that voice in your head.
Amazing. Very good.
Awesome. Thank you so
Amazing.
much.
Thank you. Regards to your family and friends, and keep in touch. It was a pleasure to have you on the show. Okay. Speak to you soon.
Yes.
Take
Thank
care.
you. It's good talking to you. Bye.
Bye bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website www.williamandthemagicbox.com and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.